Yeah, hello. Running applications in the cloud is a very interesting journey. But let's change perspectives for a moment, since operating a public cloud has its own challenges. That's why we'd like to take you on a tour behind the scenes and share some insight how we at Open Telecom Cloud run one of Europe's largest cloud setups based on open source. So my name is Nils Magnus. I'm a cloud architect for the Open Telecom Cloud, which is run and operated by T-Systems as part of Deutsche Telekom. And besides this position, I'm acting as a community reach out manager. And that means that I try my very best to make you developers, system administrators, and users of the Open Telecom happy. I have some background in IT, security consulting. I worked for a long time as an editor and author for tech magazines like the Linux magazine, and did a lot of system engineering, operations, and so on. I am a very old guy. So for more than a quarter of a century, I'm a user and advocate for open source software. I co-founded the Linux conference here in Germany. I live in Berlin, and I'm a member of the board of directors of the German Unix users group. And we use on the Open Telecom Cloud OpenStack as our base platform. That is a journey that dates back to 2012 actually, but since 2015 we set up and prepared our public cloud offering, the Open Telecom Cloud, and that is actually run completely based on OpenStack, the OpenStack cloud platform. To give you an impression what we are talking here about if it comes to operations, I collected some numbers and figures here from our German region of the Open Telecom Cloud. Let's start at the very top. So currently we operate more than 6,500 servers with almost 500,000 virtual CPU cores. They have about 3,500 terabytes of RAM, and they all fill quite a few aisles in our high security data centers that we operate here in Germany. We have 3 data centers for that. And let's have a look clockwise to the right. So with those servers, we can offer a wide range of different virtual machines, starting from a single virtual CPU up to more than 200 virtual CPUs in a single machine. You can have very small up to very big RAM sizes. And what makes us a little bit special is that we offer so many specific flavors for CPU types. So different CPUs, but as well, we have an assortment of GPUs and FPGAs for specific use cases like machine learning or artificial intelligence and so on. Well, we have obviously also quite a bit of storage to serve. It's more than 260 petabytes of storage. Most of it's actually object storage, which can be used, for example, with the S3 protocol, but we have also block storage like virtual hard drives. Now let's continue on the top left side. As I said, we run OpenStack as our base platform, and we are currently 100% DevCore compliant, and we are very proud on that because API conformance is a very high regarded value in the Open Telecom Cloud. So we have quite a good internet connectivity connected to the good network of Deutsche Telekom, which is very well established all over Europe. We have also a lot of services I come to in a second. And as something specific, which we introduced to the market more than 2 years ago, is the hybrid cloud approach of the Open Telecom Cloud. So everything that you can see here on the screen, you can have also in your personal closet, or well, better on your personal data center, or if you want, we can also take care of running such infrastructure in your name, but for you as a very private and encapsulated platform. That is our hybrid offering for that. So this is mainly about the hardware, but let's have a look on, let me switch over to the next slide, for the services. And as you can see here, we have the typical services of a public cloud. Let me run you very briefly through the different types of services that we have. There are the obvious ones: computing, storage, and network, which is more or less the same thing that every public cloud offers. We have a lot of management and security services on top of that, that let you know how much money did you spend, how much budget is left, what security services do you want to install, and so on and so on. Then there are a lot of platform as a service, and also some SaaS services as well. So specific databases, caches, other databases for specific data types like documents or data warehouse, optimized stuff, and so on. But if you are to provide a public cloud, it's not only about hardware and software, which we've seen here right now, but it's also about trust. Trust comes from transparency, and the best way to provide transparency is, let me turn away, next slide, right? The best way to provide trust is to operate in the open. And that's why we have a very, very thorough open source strategy in the Open Telecom Cloud, which makes us unique amongst the larger public clouds. That means we use OpenStack, as I said, but we also do a little bit of software development, and we are contributing and returning our efforts to the community at large, to the OpenStack community, but also to some other communities as well. And that's why we are releasing all our contributions upstream. Go for the next slide, and I've prepared for examples for that. So, for instance, we are active developers of the OpenStack client and the SDK, which are tools that provide Python stubs for the API. Could directly code against the APIs, but this is a little bit tiresome. And we actually, from our team, from the ecosystem squad of the Open Telecom Cloud, provide the project team lead for that inside as part of the OpenStack community. We do something similar for Ansible collections, so providing specific modules that enable you as users to provision, for example, virtual machines, networks, virtual private clouds, and all the resources that are part of the public cloud. Then we set up a tool, a framework, a monitoring framework, APMon, to monitor our API metrics. And we use that to verify the compliance of our cloud stack, and also measure performance metrics based on real-world use cases. So that's not only synthetic stuff, but we really run through situations like setting up a bastion host, setting up a load balancer, setting up a couple of web servers and databases, connecting them all together, sending some data through them, and tearing down everything, and we measure if that actually worked. That's the idea of APMon, and we also released everything of that as open source, and obviously based also our work on existing open source components. The fourth item is appointed to the Open Infrastructure Foundation, which we are very proud members of. We are gold members, and thus sponsoring the Open Infrastructure Foundation and the Open Infrastructure Project at large, which is the umbrella project for OpenStack and several other interesting open source projects. And we are active members of the community. We have even a member seat of the board of directors, and so on. So this is a kind of a soft skill contribution that we do to our community. So trust requires transparency, and to provide this transparency, as I said, we do all those contributions in the public, and that's why we have a very heavily used GitHub account where we publish all our software configurations and so on. So if you want to use something of those projects, feel free to download, to clone, and to use the software. And if you encounter any problems, feel free to leave an issue on those projects. So that said, I'd like to hand over to my colleague Zoltan. The stage is yours, Zoltan.
Hi, Zoltan. Welcome, everybody, and thanks, Nils, for the introduction. So you have let us peek into under the hood, and let me continue on the journey regarding how we are operating this OTC, Telekom Cloud. First, an introduction. I'm Zoltán Gombár, Head of Service Delivery Unit, Deutsche Telekom IT Solutions, Hungary. And also I'm a chapter lead of OTC operations. So regarding my background, I spent more than 20 years in ICT area in telco and also IT business. Last 4 years at cloud vendor Huawei Technologies and cloud service provider T-Systems International. So my interests are also related to that public cloud technologies, OpenStack, site reliability, engineering. And my topic is, to be more precise, is Agile methodology and related experiences in the area of cloud delivery and operation. So, agility in operation, how can it be possible? Yeah. We know that classic IT-based service management is still in fashion, still rocks, because it contains the most vital processes like incident management, change management, problem management, and all these PDCA cycle, which ensures continuous improvement. What about Agile? Agile is a new kid on the block. It provides specialization in small teams who have end-to-end responsibility for their area of scope. And this ensures intensive knowledge transfer And of course, we also have the Agile events like daily stand-ups and retrospectives. So what is our way forward? We wanted to combine best features of both worlds, create an overarching process framework, and basically decentralize service management related responsibilities so that all these functionalities are realized within these small teams. We call them squads. Yeah, so we are following the Spotify model. That's why we call these teams squads and the bigger groups as chapters. So, as Nils already described, in the heart of our platform, we have OpenStack. So we are OpenStack compliant, but since we are using a vendor-specific solution, this is only part of the platform. In order to provide appropriate virtualization environment for our compute, storage, and network resources, we have special Fusion Storage, Fusion Network, and Fusion Compute solution. And for the applications, of course, we also have the one which is provided by the vendor. And also for operation and maintenance, we have our ecosystem which provides the operational possibilities of the platform. Of course, this all adds up to the complexity. So we call it OpenStack in Fusion Sphere because this is the overall name of our platform. So this is one of the reasons why we were making this step towards Agile transformation. So in order to improve the specialization of staff, we had to create these small teams who can concentrate on one platform domain or on specific components, and there they can have end-to-end responsibility, including incident management, change management, and problem management as well. And with that, we also hoped to increase ownership and strengthen the team cohesion. What kind of challenges we had? Of course, as we know, Agile was invented for software development. So it is very hard to plan sprints when you also have to deal with incidents. Of course, we have a monitoring system and we get alarms about any deterioration of services or platform elements. But still, incidents can happen, yeah? And then you have to deal with them immediately. And for this reason, if you have a project work, if you have a sprint in which you would like to create something new or deploy new services, here this creates an interruption. So that's why especially in these customer-facing squads, we soon realized that the better option to have Kanban methodology, and with that ensure the appropriate prioritization of the backlog items. Of course, when you are creating small teams, there's also a danger to create silos. So we also had to take care that we can break these silos and create cooperating teams. So we also introduced guilds, which are overarching these squads. So what were the different steps in the evolution from the monolithic operation team? Of course, at the beginning, we didn't have Scrum Masters, we didn't have product owners, but we had the operation team. So on a voluntary basis, they could choose their destinies, their squads. And we also appointed tech leads, more experienced colleagues who could start, organize and coordinate special knowledge transfers to these groups. And as a result of that, first incidents, bug fixes and alarms were directed to these squads. Later on, changes were also approved by the tech leads of the squads. And finally, the changes now are prepared and also implemented by the squad. So they are really having this end-to-end responsibility for their area of operation. Yeah, what is still an ongoing activity is that really establish site reliability engineering operation, automate the routine tasks. There's still room for improvement because as it is in the case any other cloud operator, this is a never-ending story. You would like to automate as much as possible in your daily work, get rid of toil, and can concentrate much more on serving customers than doing day-to-day routine activities. Yeah, of course, in the same time came the question, if the team is transferred to an Agile, what about the management? So same applies to us. In the earlier times, we already had our daily management meetings. So these were transferred to daily stand-ups, and we also created a so-called Operation and Maintenance Guild, which has an overarching responsibility for platform stability and ensuring the appropriate framework of the operation. So we also use Jira backlogs and dashboards for tracking tasks in a transparent way. We also take advantage of sprints because they can really represent plannable periods, and this really helps slicing the elephant, slicing big tasks, edible parts. And retrospective meetings are also helping in our case operation and to fine-tune the methods and methodologies that we are using. What about the leadership? How leaders can really serve these agile transformation and agile operation? Of course, since we have created self-driven teams, we really have to enable and facilitate these teams and also lead by doing. So we also expect it from our managers to have hands-on technical skills. We are also participating in the day-to-day operation by providing manager on duty service. So in case of major incidents or out of office events, we are there on duty and support the platform. And of course, team development and personal development is also in the focus to set clear goals. Our colleagues improve their agile mindset, strengthen the feeling of ownership, and work on to promote upskilling and career paths so that the expectations of the organization meets the expectations of the individuals. So basically, this is a nutshell of what we have achieved during this journey. And it may be also some lessons learned to others who would like to take some similar steps on the way. So thank you very much for your attention, and we are looking for any questions related to the presentations.